Hello, everyone, and thank you for watching Principal Living. Today we have a special guest from sleeping on the dirt in Zacatecas, Mexico, to be now a multi-millionaire. So it's an awesome story. It's an awesome guy, and I'm really blessed to have him around my life. So without further ado, I want to present you guys with Guillermo Haro.
Thank you, man. Great.
How you doing, man?
Thanks for having me. By the way, I was born on a dirt floor. I don't know that I necessarily slept on it. So
okay.
wanted to make sure we're clear on that.
I got the story mixed up a little bit.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Well, today we're here to find out more about your success. And if you can give us a little bit more of your background of what you do and who you are so the audience can know a little bit more about you.
Well, my name is Guillermo Haro. I'm involved in a financial services business. The name of it is called World Financial Group. I'm here in my office in Glendora, California. I've been doing WFG now for 21 years, and it's been my passion. I found something that I absolutely love to do. I'm very successful at it. I'm very committed to it. Prior to me getting involved in WFG, I was in the real estate business, mortgage business. I've done many other jobs, several other hustles out there, different labor jobs where I use my hands to make money, and that was really tough. So I've done it all, pretty much tried it all. I've struggled. I've been financially very challenged. Thank God I ran across this company. I ran across a model, a platform that actually worked, and then I put my all into it, and I was led by one of the best guys, in my opinion, one of the best guys in the entire industry, and that made a big difference. You become who you surround yourself with. So if you can find the right people to surround yourself with, I think that makes a huge difference with the destiny you'll actually live.
That is correct. I truly believe that the people that you have around can make a big impact as far as like how far you go out and how you actually grow your mindset. Mm-hmm. So if that's your surrounding, that's who you're going to become. But if you have people that are making an impact in their lives to other people and just growing, not just financially but mentally, you can get to a better level of yourself. Would you agree?
Sure.
Okay.
I agree with that 100%.
And today we would like to talk to you a little bit about what principles you have applied into your life in order to get you to where you are today. We can start with the most important one to you, the one you have used the most, that has got you to the success that you have acquired till this moment. What do you think that will be that first principle?
I believe the first one obviously would be hard work. It's funny how everybody wants to be successful, but they want to go about it the easy way or the least troubled way or the least harmful way or the least risk way. If you don't work hard, if you don't sustain hard work over a long period of time, I don't think it's possible. There's no such thing as get rich quick. There's so many people trying to speed it up and all that. At the end of the day, you got to pay the price for a series of years. I don't know if it's going to be 3 years or 5 years or 10 years. We see success stories of people that have taken a long time to actually get there, but you got to be very diligent with your work. So I think hard work is non-negotiable. You got to be willing to put forth the work. That's number one. I would say number two, you got to know exactly where you're going. You got to have a goal. You got to have a plan. You got to wake up every day knowing exactly where you're going and put one foot forward. So your vision of where you want to go, I think that's important. Keep that at the forefront of who you are and what you want to do. So working with no plan is also just your dead meat. So you got to be a super hard worker, but you got to know that hard work is getting you where, and you got to have a plan. You got to have a road. You got to know exactly the direction you're headed into. Another principle I would say would be the idea of constantly growing and developing yourself. So many people plateau with their ability to learn. In our business or with the people that I coach and teach, I'm always letting them know to stay green. And like things that are green grow like grass, and then if it's not green, they start dying. So you're either growing or you're dying, and I would say so many people get out of high school and then they stop learning. So for the rest of their life, they're just existing with the same level of information. And I think that's just a key mistake for most people. If you want to get ahead, you got to get new knowledge. You got to be surrounded with people that are above you, that are stronger, faster, richer, more intelligent, people who are impact players in your life. And you got to fight to forge those relationships, to seek those people out, to go shake hands. Of course, you can't do that in COVID-19, but at least to reach out and make contact and be around the people that live the way you want to live. So hard work, got to have a vision. You got to work on yourself. I just also, another thing is how you treat people. You got to treat people good. You got to respect people. It's a cruel society out there right now. There's a lot of bullying going on, even on social media. You cannot get distracted by that. You got to stay focused on your end goal, and you can't take things personal. Another thing too is I just believe you can't be a sensitive person. You got to toughen up a little bit. So I'm really big on mental toughness, on understanding that tough times will come and go, but tough people stay. So you got to have the endurance. You got to be willing to stick it out long term. I'm a very long term commitment type person. We always look at the things that are valuable in your life. And typically those things that are long-term. For example, like my marriage is a long-term proposition. Raising my kids, that's a long-term proposition. Accumulating my wealth, I want to be able to do that long-term. I'm doing that right now, but I'm accumulating my wealth, and I'm a plan to do that for the rest of my life. Also, being healthy and working out and feeling fit and strong, that's a long-term proposition. My faith with the man upstairs, that's a long-term proposition. Been doing that for many years. I'm going to continue to do it for the rest of my life. The overall thing is that you're happy. My belief is that if you make progress in your life, then you're considered happy. Think about, for most people, when they've moved it forward, you're happy. There's this internal energy and this excitement about getting ahead, and that makes you happy. When someone's stagnant, like in the Bible it says, an idle mind is Satan's playground. So if you're just sitting around, if you got nothing to do, then you start processing all the negative thoughts. But when you're busy moving it forward, then that's when your life takes on a lot of meaning, and that's when you're most fulfilled. That's when you're happy. That's the bliss in life. So I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, definitely. So as far as, you have a lot of great information.
Thank you.
I would like to kind of expand a little bit more on your main three.
Sure.
So the first one you said it was to work hard. Now I've seen it even in my industry when I started selling cars. You see a lot of people that you're pushing them towards selling vehicles, and I believe from going from a regular employee mindset to being a salesperson, there has to be a change. And people, something that I've always seen is that they try to go for the path of least resistance. Mm-hmm. Do you believe there's a reason why that is, instead of the hard work, why everybody goes the other way?
Well, because hard work is hard. They don't say easy work. It's called hard work. It's hard for a reason. It's also hard because that's where all the prizes are. It's like lifting weights. That's not easy. There's resistance. So if it were easy, everybody would already have it. The thing is, it's not easy. So the path of least resistance is what we think can actually get us to where we want to go, only to find out that it's false. You got to pay the price. I'm a firm believer in paying the price. You got to be willing to do the work. It's those who do the work. Think about an athlete. If he skips out on the workouts, if he skips out on the weight training, he skips out on keeping his diet, if he takes the path of least resistance, that athlete is not going to be a competitive athlete, and so many other people that outwork them are going to get that spotlight. They're going to take his position. So You cannot negotiate that. The people who are anti-working hard simply get left behind. And by the way, it's so going to be thrown in their face that you didn't work hard, you don't deserve it.
What is one thing that you do to get you in that mindset on an everyday basis, to keep you committed to hard work?
Well, you got to have your written goals. I believe most people don't write down their goals. The book Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, talks about write down your goals, read them every day, read them out loud, read them in the morning, read them at night. I've not been consistent with that my whole life, but overall I've been pretty much on top of it. So if you have a purpose, you wake up and you read those goals, now your mind's locked into what you just saw, and now you're ready to attack the day and do the things that you want. So Get after the things you want and write them down. Take the time, take the discipline to write it down. There's power with your mind transferring that knowledge into a pen. You're seeing it and then you recite it. So you got your eyes, your mind, your ears, and your mouth all locked into your goals, and then you believe them. That's a pretty powerful combination.
And just like you said as well, that there's a lot of times, and I've seen it with a lot of people, that they always say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and they never come through. Do you believe there's a middle ground in between, from having it just in your mind to writing it down and having that, maybe that discipline to reading it every day, but having to project your mind into paper? Do you think it's pretty impactful in order to get you to where?
Yeah, absolutely. Without question, if it's on your mind but not on paper, and then I think it loses its power, I think it loses its efficiency. But if you have it on your mind, you put it down on paper, plus you read it, and then you say it, and you do that repeatedly, and you also have other people cheering you on. Like, for example, my wife is my biggest cheerleader, my kids. So the name of the game is for you to be all about it, or for you to say it. Now you can't let them down. Like when I say, hey, kids, we're going to do this. Well, I can't let my kids down. You're supposed to be a person of character and honor. When you say something, damn it, do it. So that's how your stock goes up as an individual. So, I do believe there is a distinction between just having it in your mind versus it being on paper, and the constant repetition of those goals. It's a world apart. Just having it in your mind, I don't think that's good enough.
Okay.
And you'll have sporadic success when it's only there.
A lot of people have very, very big goals.
Mm-hmm.
But once you think about a big goal, would you agree that you have to kind of break them down into shorter, smaller goals?
Sure.
Because I believe that there's a lot of people out there that they think that, they can, I don't know, just to give you an example, get to 5 million in 1 year. But then once you have that goal, you see it too far ahead because it's too big based on the stage you're at right now. So if you break it down into smaller goals, it's easier to achieve. Is that something you probably added onto yourself, or is this something that you agree on?
Yeah, I practice in my life setting goals that I hit.
Okay.
There's just power with building confidence. How do you build confidence? You set a goal and you hit it, and you set another goal and you hit it. Now you make it a habit of setting goals and hitting them, versus setting this massive goal that's so far out there that's potentially, even to your brain or your vision, it's unattainable. So they say one time, of all the different seminars and meetings I've been to, they says, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You can't take the elephant and open up your mouth and swallow the whole thing. It's just too big.
Yeah.
But you can take that elephant and you can chop them up into bite-sized pieces and start eating away at it, and sooner or later you've eaten an elephant. That's a goal. So the elephant is your $5 million goal, but you can't do all of it because your mouth's not big enough. You just can't swallow the whole elephant. But you can bite them one bite at a time. You can eat it one bite at a time, and you can make progress. And if you do that continuously, that's why consistency over a long period of time is absolute success.
I really like that anatomy. I love that. That's awesome. So going from planning, you gave me your third principle, which was getting knowledge. Now, is there something that you do maybe on a daily basis, weekly basis, to keep your mind fresh and getting new knowledge? Is there some type of knowledge that you would seek?
Yeah, I wouldn't want knowledge that specifically makes me better in my field. There's so much information out there, and there's a lot of information out there that doesn't pertain to me. So I understand there's stuff out in the universe right now, there's stuff in the media, there's stuff about politics. There's so much information out there that would be important to someone else, but it's not necessarily important to me. So I don't believe that you need to be smart in every area. Like, I'm not supposed to know everything about rockets, and I'm not supposed to know everything about the solar system, and everything about biology, and everything about global warming, and all the deals going on with politics. There's not enough time to really take an interest in all those things. So I narrow down to the things that are important to me, my family, my future. We live our life on very simple principles. Number one is faith. So I believe you got to invest the time and really enrich your faith. The second thing is you got to have a strong family foundation. So we're really big with family, with spending time with family, with eating together, praying together to really unite the family. The third thing would be you got to have your money right. So the finances are super important. So we got faith, family, finances. You got to make some big money. Raising a family in a challenged state is really tough. Yeah. Most of us grew up to poor families, and it was a childhood we don't want to repeat. I don't want to have my kids repeat the childhood I had. They says if you don't come from a rich family, it's your responsibility to build one. And so I have. Number 4 is you got to have your fitness in place. I mean, to be physically fit, to invest time to exercise, to have strong muscles, bones, to have good posture, to have the right type of energy during the course of the day. And, I have kids. I have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. Do you think I need energy?
A lot.
So I need energy because they are a ball of energy, and I got to match that energy. So there's no time to say, hey, I just get home and pop open a beer and put my feet up on the couch and watch TV. That's not the deal. I mean, they're active, and I got to mirror that energy. And then the last one, you got to have fun, man, because life's too short. You got to have fun. If you focus your energy on these things that are important, your faith, your family, the finances, your fitness, and having fun doing it, then that's where you channel all of your energy. Outside of that, there's not too many other things that are important. We will do some of the other things, but most of the things we do on a daily, weekly, monthly, annual basis are in connection with those 5 priorities.
All right, so based on what you were telling us and, keeping everything so precise, I mean, in order for you to be in the states you are, you just told us that you have to keep faith, your family, fitness, fun.
Faith, family, finances, fitness, fun.
Now, for some people that might sound like a lot, right? How do you manage to get everything lined up and keep going with what you do on a daily basis?
Everything's around keeping a calendar, keeping a schedule, and then prioritizing what's important. You got to understand in your life is you should be doing the things that move it forward, that move the needle, that make you more, that make you happy. So there's a lot of people I see that are wasting a lot of time doing things that don't move the needle forward. So progress, just always understand that progress is a super important priority to us. Are you moving it forward? Are you becoming more? Are you developing? Are you becoming wiser? Are you becoming smarter? Are you becoming more efficient? Do you have more value to offer your clients and your teammates and the people that do business with you? Are you a bigger, better, stronger, wiser man, richer man? That's my thinking. So anything that doesn't help that cause, I don't really have time for.
So would you say it's more of a setting priorities for
Absolutely.
everything you're doing
Yes.
on a daily basis?
Yes.
Okay.
It's priorities. Like, is it worth investing the time? So I'm investing this time with you because you're my friend. I value who you are. We're going to have hopefully a good future together. So this time is worth an investment. Other than that, if it's not worth the investment in the time, because time is precious. One thing we can never get back is time. You can get back money, you can get back other things, but you can't get back time. Whatever time you spend, it just better be well spent.
Okay, I like that. So is there something that you do, just once again, you said schedule and prioritize things.
Yes.
Like, is there something you do, like, do you have, based on the 5 F's you have, is there one that is your top priority?
Yeah, of course, your faith.
Faith.
Nothing happens without faith.
Okay.
Without it, think you're dead. Without it, you're a wandering generality. If you don't have faith, what else? Nothing's worth it. Okay. I think faith, you got to be a faith-filled person. You got to be all about it. You draw strength from that faith. It's a blessing. And you got to seek to grow that faith and to know that your faith is ultimately how people perceive you. You know, a faith-driven man.
That's awesome.
Relay that to my wife, to my kids, to the people around me. I draw my strength, my inspiration from a higher source. And I'm connected with that, and you got to constantly spend time on growing that faith and learning more about it. That's a wise man to grow your faith.
Is that something you do? Do you, like, read the Bible?
Yes. Okay. read the Bible. I also have associated myself where there are people who are spiritually more advanced than me, and I listen to them. I take counsel from them. I study the Word to understand what I need to do in order to become more. It's like, you want to be more God-like. So you want to minimize your exposure to people that sort of are not headed in that direction. Someone who doesn't believe in it, I'm not spending a whole lot of time with them. I want people to enrich the things that are important to me. So if you can add value to my life with the things that are important to me, then we'll have a connection. And if you don't, then probably not going to spend a lot of time with you.
Okay. Makes a lot of sense. Prioritize, right?
Absolutely.
Going back to the scheduling.
Okay.
I just would like to break down a little bit more on that. How precisely you schedule it? Is it like every hour of the day? Is it probably for a whole week? Kind of main points that you have to take down, or how far out?
It's a combination of all of those. Okay. I have events right now. Let's bar COVID-19. Let's suppose COVID-19 never happened. Okay. So here we are, January 1st. My wife and I sit down and we have our calendar for the entire year. All of our meetings, the big meetings that we have, conventions, we have big company events, big team events. We have once a month meeting. We already calendar every single one of those the big meetings. We call them Momentum Mondays. So we calendar every single month the location, who's responsible, the hotel, just details. Very oriented that way. So we calendar our travel plans, different visits, different places we're going to go to every year. For my wife and I, our birthdays are very close to one another. Her birthday is June 4th. My birthday is June 5th. So we typically plan a birthday trip, and we go to a different destination in the world. So we already had that plan. We're supposed to go to Dubai, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. But we already calendar all of that. We plan. We schedule family activities, our kids' sports, travel plans, visits to different offices that we have throughout the country with our business colleagues, family visits, social visits. So we have all of that. And then outside of that, we calendar on a weekly basis. We calendar all of our appointments where we're meeting with clients and new talent, prospective new recruits that we're going to bring into our organization. We calendar family activities. We calendar birthdays. We calendar special events that we're going to do with different people. Throughout the day, on a daily basis, we already have tomorrow planned today, and then we'll have next week planned this week. Okay. So it now comes to the point where you have to invest the time to calendar, to schedule all of those appointments and all of those happenings. So therefore, you don't wake up and says, okay, what are we going to do today? We don't have that. We wake up and we already know what's going to happen.
So you will say maybe you advance on a yearly basis on major events. Then
Yes.
you kind of break down maybe on a weekly basis what you have to achieve.
We calendar annual, monthly, weekly, and daily events.
That's awesome.
So you start right here, you break it down, then you break it down, then you break it down, then we can calendar an hour. Like, for example, I have an hour with you.
Yeah.
So that's a calendared hour.
Awesome. And you keep it on paper.
Of course.
That you keep.
I keep it on paper and also here on my Outlook calendar.
Okay.
I think that's what it's called.
Awesome. So just to put everything together, you told us that the best principles you ever had was first one, to work hard, second one, to plan, and the third one was knowledge.
Yeah.
Overall, the image you've given us has gotten you to another level, to the level that most people would like to be in, correct? To be maybe financially free and have freedom.
Okay.
Is there something that you would, just an advice for somebody that's just starting, that is maybe on a 9 to 5?
I think people have got to find their passion, and oftentimes we need to do something to get us in a position to do your passionate state of activity. So someone who's getting started, I don't know if they're, say, 23 years old, 25 years old, is quickly find out what is it you want to do. And hopefully whatever you want to do, and you got to find a way to monetize what you want to do. So if you're passionate about business, if you're passionate about sales, find out what you believe in, what would be a natural thing for you to believe in. For me, it's like I'm a money-oriented person. I understand money. I connect with it. I understand the abundance of it. Also, I've lived the deficiencies of it. So for me, it was very natural to explain money concept to people, to get people financially educated, to get people to save money, to get people to understand compound interest, to understand inflation, taxation. So that's something that has just really interests me. The idea of having a buck work to make another buck all by itself, that was pretty cool. So that really connected with me. So I've monetized that because I'm now able to find a huge need. Society at large has a huge need with financial literacy. A lot of people don't know how to invest. They don't know how to retire. They don't know how to put themselves in a position where money is going to be to their advantage versus their disadvantage. So that was my passion. And I found that, and I saw so many people becoming wealthy as a result of it. So the more they talk to people and the more they share those concepts with people, the more they were becoming wealthier and wealthier. So that was a no-brainer to me. That was pretty simple. For someone else who's in sales, I don't know if you're going to sell cars or you're going to sell solar or you're going to sell technology or whatever it is connect with the people who are the best at it, learn from them, ask questions, forge relationships with those people, and then work your tail off. Go after it. Do it more than the person next to you. Get competitive about it. Like, really go do your best. Pay the price. Get as much as you can in a shorter period of time. If it was going to take you 10 years to do it, you can do it in 3, provided you're working at it on every single day. Don't take breaks. Don't take the weekend off. So when I was building my business for 5, 6, 7 years or so, I wasn't really partying on the weekends. I wasn't spending Sundays hanging out. They said in the Bible, they say, oh, the good Lord gives you 7 days, and then on one day you're supposed to take it off. Yeah, but you haven't been working the 6 days. What the hell are you doing taking days off? You haven't been working. You've been lollygagging. You've been slacking. Well, if you're in that state, you don't deserve. So everything's on prize yourself if you deserve it, penalize yourself if you don't.
There are things that I've seen in interviews about him, and it sounds like you have a lot of things, a lot of attributes that come from Ed Milet, which is the person that kind of trained you, and he was the person.
No, he didn't kind of train me.
He trained you.
Oh yeah, he sure did. Even now.
So I think just going back to what you were saying, just the environment, and just the mentality and the way you speak at this moment, I think that what you have given us is very valuable. Mm-hmm. So I do thank you for that. Thank you for being here as well. I really appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time. And if somebody wants to reach out to you or maybe get life insurance, or if you guys need anything from WFG, this is the man you guys have to call and have to get in contact with. How can they get in contact with you?
You can follow me on Instagram. Guillermo Haro 33 is my handle. I'm all over Facebook, Guillermo Haro. I have my YouTube channel, Guillermo Haro Team Conquer. You can call my office to request a time with me. Of course, you'll need to go through the normal process where we find out what we're going to do. 909-397-8777. My assistant is Cynthia, so you guys can schedule time with me. And then I'm also available to do Zoom calls for inquiries about potentially starting a financial career with WFG. It's, in my opinion, is the best thing out there. I've been trying to convince him for 2 years, so we haven't gotten there yet, but we will. So that's how you can find me. I'm also on Twitter. I'm not really active on Twitter all that much anymore, but it's GHaro1 there. And I do have the Snapchat and all that, but I guess I'm not going to be able to keep up with every single one of them. So I'll be good with 3 or 4 of them, and I'm good.
Okay, sounds good. So we'll put them in below. We'll make a link on the bottom just in case if anybody's interested. So once again, thank you for being here, and I hope you guys enjoy this message and this information. So once again, thank you for being here.
All right, brother.
Okay.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.